There are moments when the world around us just feels off. A misplaced shadow, a voice with no source, a road that leads somewhere it shouldn't. Most people dismiss these as tricks of the mind, the byproduct of exhaustion or imagination. But some know better. Some listen to the whispers. The whispers come from the spaces in between, from echoes of lost time, from doorways that were never meant to be opened. They are warnings, secrets, glimpses of the unknown, murmuring just beyond the veil of reality. Some speak of things that have already happened, others tell of what's still to come, and a few are invitations. Most people ignore them. They turn away, pretending not to hear. But you have chosen to listen. And once you do, there is no turning back. Welcome to Whispers from the Other Side. The night is long, and the silence longer. But for some, that silence is a canvas filled with voices, songs, and stories that drift through the dark like smoke. In a quiet booth, late at night, one man keeps vigil over the airwaves, believing his only audience is the sleepless and the forgotten. But radio is a strange thing. Sound travels. Echoes linger. And sometimes, the ones listening aren't among the living. Some voices echo through time. Others should have stayed silent. Vinny is about to find out that when you play music for the night might just play something back. Act 1. Dead Air. Vincent Vinny Rayburn was the last of a dying breed, the graveyard shift radio DJ. Each night from midnight to 4 a.m., his voice cut through the static on KDRS radio, the pulse of the night. Smooth jazz, soft rock, and a raspy drawl that made insomniacs feel like they weren't alone in the world. He wasn't famous. He wasn't even well paid. But he loved it. The booth was his kingdom. Dim lights, knobs and sliders, turntables, a mic with a foam cover that smelled like 20 years of coffee breath, and the old landline with a label beside it that read, "Call in line, be nice." He was halfway through his second cup of coffee when the first strange request came in. "Caller, you're on with Vinny. Welcome to the midnight ride." A low hiss answered him. Then a voice, barely above a whisper. "Play Blue Moon for Charlie. It was his favorite. He died last week." The line clicked dead before Vinny could reply. Weird, but not the weirdest. People called in with strange dedications all the time. He spun the track, sipped his coffee, and tried to shake the cold tingle running down his neck. Act 2. Voices in the Static. 2 nights later, it happened again. Same time, 2:13 a.m. Same static on the line. "Vinny, play The End of the World," a woman's voice rasped, trembling. "For my son. He didn't make it home." Then silence. No name, no goodbye. He was beginning to feel watched. Something in the air of the studio had changed. The lights flickered more often. The static on the board seemed to bleed into songs, into his headphones. And always, the calls. Every night now. They came like clockwork. Some left names, some didn't. Some sobbed, others whispered. But every single one of them requested songs for people who were dead. At first, Vinny rationalized. Maybe there was a morbid trend. Maybe some underground social media thing. But one night, something broke through his denial. The call came just after 3 a.m. "Vinny Rayburn," the voice said. Not a request this time. A man, gravelly, old. "You don't remember me, but I remember you." Vinny's blood chilled. He didn't respond. "I was in the wreck, off Route 6, July 1998. You were supposed to stop. You didn't." The line went dead. Vinny stared at the mic. That was impossible. That wreck. He had stopped. Or had he? It was so long ago. A rainy night, a flipped car, a limp hand through shattered glass. But he had called 911, hadn't he? Hadn't he? Act 3. The Listener in the Booth. Vinny stopped taking calls on air. He told his producer, Lenny, that the line was acting up. Lenny grunted and said he'd take a look. Vinny started noticing things. Not just the usual glitches of a haunted studio. No, it was worse. The turntables spun on their own. Records changed speed. A cold wind blew through vents that hadn't worked in years. And then the worst of it. He came into the studio one night, and someone was already in the booth. Slumped forward in the chair, headphones askew, was a man in a vintage KDRS jacket from the 70s. Dead. Long dead. Vinny stumbled back, heart racing, but when he blinked, gone. Nothing. Just the hum of fluorescent lights and the scent of old vinyl. But when he sat down at the board, the mic was warm. That night he played no music. He spoke into the dead air. "I don't know what you want. I'm sorry. I'm just playing the songs. That's all I've ever done." The light on the phone blinked. One new message. He picked it up. A whisper. "Your last broadcast is coming, Vinny. Will you stay to hear it?" Act 4. The Final Dedication. Vinny had stopped sleeping. The voices wouldn't let him. He played every request, every dirge, every torch song, every elegy. He scoured obituaries to match the names. They were all real. The dedications were always for the dead. Some from last week, some from years ago, some not yet dead. One night just past 3 a.m., the phone rang. The voice was young, shaky. "Can you play Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel?" For Vincent Rayburn. He was a DJ. My uncle. I never met him, but my mom said he loved the night. Vinny froze. What did you say?" I just wanted to remember him. He died today, heart attack. Right in the studio, alone." The line went dead. He looked at the clock. It had stopped working, but it was now 3:12 a.m. His chest tightened, sharp pain, radiating, sweating. Breath gone. He reached for the mic, instinct taking over. "Ladies and gentlemen, if anyone's still listening out there, if the night has found your ears and you feel alone, don't be. I'm Vinny Rayburn. This has been the Midnight Ride. And this," he coughed, "this is my last broadcast." He hit play. In the flicker of a studio light and the hum of a turntable, a voice can carry across eternity. For Vincent Rayburn, the airwaves became a bridge to something beyond sound, where the listeners never hang up and the dedications never end. He was a man who lived to be heard, until the night he listened too closely to the whispers from the other side. What are the whispers? A warning, a message, a glimpse into something beyond our understanding. Perhaps they are all of these, or none at all. But one thing is certain, they are always there, waiting to be heard. Tune in next time and listen closely, because the whispers are always there, and sooner or later, they will reach us all. Until then, keep your ears open and remember, some whispers should never be ignored.